Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, Laura.
And I'm May, and today we're talking P. Diddy Part 2. I'm super excited personally.
Okay, and let me just go ahead and say, we're talking about P. Diddy, the Diddy. If you need to know that there's going to be trigger warnings on this, it's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to be talking about like the R word.
Which R word? Oh, that one. Grape.
The grapes. We're going to be talking about grapes. We're going to be talking about sexual assaults. I don't fucking know. YouTube, are you mad? We don't know. We're gonna literally be, and a lot of drug stuff. It's gonna be interesting trying to make this one funny because it's very serious, and I'm very sorry for all the victims, but we'll do our best.
Ooh, buckle up.
Buckle up. Enjoy.
Big week for grapers.
Grapers.
Because I mean, you saw Harvey Weinstein is getting out of prison, right? Because of some weird loophole.
Wait, so is he getting out of prison, or is that just one of the things?
Oh, maybe you're right. I saw something was overturned.
I saw the New York one was overturned, and it was on my list of things to go review because I'm like, are they gonna let him is he gonna just get back in the biz?
Oh my God,
He's
just back to making movies.
He's just back.
He's like, hey,
couch is open again.
Yeah, I've run a casting couch before, haven't I? Yeah, pretty fucking crazy though. And it's the same lawyer that got Cosby out of jail. So that guy, fucking hire him, dude.
I mean, you want that lawyer for sure.
Yeah.
You don't want a lawyer that's well adjusted. Can I say this? No. You want a piece of shit.
Yeah,
as a lawyer.
yeah. Oh, no moral compass at all.
No moral compass. I also want them to be divorced, a deadbeat parent.
Sure.
All of these things where I'm I hate you as a person, but I think in court you're probably really effective because this is your this is all you do. The rest of your life is in shambles. You're hyper focused on me and crimes I didn't commit.
Allegedly.
Me personally, no. I haven't done shit yet. I've been fucking too busy reading about Diddy.
That is really hard. I'm sure lawyers obviously have defended people that they know did it, and you just have to do it. You have to defend them, and
it's the job.
Huh.
I know. I mean, it's definitely an interesting profession. And I know a lot of lawyers. This is just the ones that what's it called? The criminal
defense lawyer. Or, criminal attorneys, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that'd be a tough
Not
gig.
like bankruptcy law where okay, well, whatever.
Who gives a shit?
I know. I have a friend who's a bankruptcy lawyer, and I'm always like, yeah, well,
whatever.
Different. Very interesting, but different.
Yeah. So all right,
not high stakes morally as much as this.
Let's get into our second graper.
The main graper of this story. We're talking about Diddy. Notably at Coachella 2 weeks ago, Kesha had her little song.
Oh, I saw.
She her song TikTok, and she came out and she changed the lyrics to say, "Wake up in the morning like fuck P. Diddy," and it used to be feeling like P. Diddy.
Right.
I think she was like, I don't want to be wake up in the morning feeling like I'm gonna rape a lot of people. This is what I'm feeling. Coachella, do you agree? Hear me.
Oh my God.
They're yeah.
She got I like that she is still in this messy persona. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
She is quite.
How old is she now? She's 42?
No, I bet she's our age. Wouldn't you think?
I don't know, but yeah, you're right. It's she's
on brand for herself.
37.
Yeah,
and she still looks a mess.
She looks a mess.
She's hot. I mean, she's really hot, obviously extremely successful. She's probably secretly sober or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet. Nothing will ever be funnier to me ever in the history of humanity than when Janelle Evans from Teen Mom was supposed to go to jail, and she was trying to get her lawyer to postpone it because she needed to go to a Kesha concert. And then she was crying to her lawyer. And she was like, "You don't understand what Kesha means to me." And he was
my God.
And he was like, "Ma'am, you're getting separated from your children and you are going to prison.
You're not going to be able to leave unless you're supervised. You can't see the sun without a guard."
He was like, "Dude,
but Kesha."
He was like, "I really feel like we're going to have a hard time getting the judge to approve a Kesha concert." To be honest, it's not like her son's birthday. It was literally a Kesha concert. It was unbelievable.
That's so funny. Well, what did the judge say?
Prime reality TV.
What the
judge said no.
Oh,
she missed the Kesha concert.
Well,
Can you imagine?
lame.
Hopefully she was at Coachella. That'd be fun.
That would have been fun. History. could watch history. Well, so Kesha definitely thinks Diddy did it. And she also did it with Renee Rapp, which is kind of cool.
Who is that?
She's the girl from Mean Girls. She's like really famous right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like she was on Broadway and then they put her in the movie, which was secretly a musical. Did you ever see that?
No.
Listen, okay. If you went and saw Mean Girls, the one that just came out recently, or if you haven't seen it, it's a musical. You know who didn't know that? I didn't know that.
I fucking hate musicals.
Fucking hate when
musicals.
they spring surprise musicals.
Yeah.
Why did you have to hide this from me? Why do you clearly feel so bad about this being a musical?
No one would come out.
I wouldn't. Actually, that's true. I would not have gone.
No, I hate musicals. Oh my God, I hate them.
I don't enjoy them. I was so pissed. I was sitting with Kaya. We went to go see it, and all of a sudden, the first song starts, and we were like,
"Oh no,
is this a fucking musical? What did we just sign up for?"
You guys were had.
And we're surrounded by like tween theater kids. I was pissed, and they were hyped. They knew it was a musical.
Oh, they signed up for the right thing.
I should have been suspicious. Walked in, I was like, there's a lot of theater kids here. A lot of tweens. Why? Why am I surrounded? Because they're gonna sing. That's why. Okay, so anyway, back to P. Diddy. Where we left off in the last episode, we kind of went over a lot of, like, frankly, his successes and some of the more minor things that he did, like older scandals. We left off right around the time where he is, you know, in the prime of his career, dating Kim Porter. So we'll bring it back up. This kind of overlaps a little bit with what we talked about last time, but we're going to talk about Kim because she is pretty relevant to a lot of the reasons why people don't like Diddy. Do you know her? Do you remember her?
I'm not sure.
So she was
Let's just keep my laptop open. I
know, yeah.
There's
There's going to be a lot of references. First and foremost, she's hot. Was hot. She's dead.
Oh no.
I know. She was an American model, a singer. It sounded like she kind of like dipped her toes into a lot of things. I don't think she really had a massive career in terms of, you know, hits or anything like that. But she was definitely in the mix and very, of course, involved with Diddy.
Okay. Like involved sexually or?
Yes.
Okay.
They were together. They met when she was a receptionist at Uptown Records. So like she was like in the scene.
Yeah.
They started dating in 1994. So kind of right at the, like pretty early in his career too. Mm-hmm. She got pregnant in 1997. And right in that period was when he started cheating on her with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh my God.
I know. Jenny from the block.
Stop cheating on your pregnant wives, celebrity men.
Well,
it's crazy.
How about this? Diddy did one better. Didn't even marry her.
Good.
Just got her pregnant, that started cheating on her.
Good.
He's like,
what a fucking asshole.
This is the craziest part is she found out he was cheating on her in the tabloids.
Oh my God.
I know.
Fucking J-Lo. What a whore. As if
J-Lo
she needs more bad press right now.
There is no PR agency in the world that can redeem what J-Lo's got going on.
Yeah.
That girl is toast. Their relationship, the J-Lo Diddy relationship ended when Diddy may have shot someone at a nightclub. Right. If you recall, we talked about this in the last episode. We have a lot to talk about in this episode, so I won't do like a full recap. But basically, he went to a nightclub in New York City and there was a shooting. Probably Diddy did it. People probably got paid off. There was like a whole thing. Yeah. He got briefly arrested. I think J-Lo also got briefly arrested.
Yeah.
He made her like carry the gun and then he bribed his security guard to say that he did it. It was a full fucking mess.
Wow.
I wish TikTok had been around back then.
Yeah.
Because that would have been lit. But instead it was just like Us Weekly just trying their best.
Yeah.
Just being like, we can't sing, we'll get sued.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
So after that incident, they broke up. Kim refused to acknowledge that he was cheating on her with Jennifer Lopez, which is, but also what a power move.
Yeah.
Because you know, like the way that her relationship was with him, they were really tied together. And I don't think she wanted necessarily to move on, or at least at this stage, like it wasn't. So her biggest thing was just like, I'm going to pretend it's not happening. And that was the best way because apparently he was like pissed about it. It really got under his skin that she wouldn't even like acknowledge the J-Lo situation. I know, kind of she's playing chess.
That's interesting.
Right?
Well, also maybe it was a PR relationship and she knew that. Between him and J-Lo, maybe there's that too.
Could be. That might be like what he was trying to,
Yeah, where he's like, hey, you're fucking up this PR relationship. My PR team's going to be really pissed if you don't seem pissed about this.
Yeah, maybe.
And she was like, I'm not giving
Yeah,
that fucking
maybe.
bitch
Yeah.
satisfaction.
Absolutely. Well, after the nightclub shooting, I think everything was off the table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So one of the quotes, apparently that really fucked with Diddy, and the quote around it was that relationship wasn't real. So like that actually speaks to your. The world just saw the bright lights in the camera, but I knew what was really going on. He was still in love with me. He was calling 50, 60 times a day. Sometimes I wouldn't even talk to him because I was so angry. I couldn't be nice, Kim. I had to be, that bitch word. Like, this is not going down. So he was definitely still trying to, stay super involved in Kim's life. And while the J-Lo Diddy thing was going on. So much so that apparently he was hiring people to follow Kim around.
Oh my God.
So, and this is going to become a theme. Diddy, it sounds like, is a very controlling person. I wouldn't recommend getting in a relationship with him. He apparently wiretapped her home.
Oh my God.
He was fucking stalking her.
Yeah.
And at one point they went out on a boat together and people heard a fight going on.
Holy
and
shit.
she came off with a broken nose.
Holy fuck.
So,
whoa. Imagine how
Yep.
terrifying that would be, just being stuck on a boat with some psychopath literally that's
Trying
broke
to
your nose.
break my
Probably
nose.
trying to fucking throw her overboard and be like, oh, it was an accident.
I think he has mental, something going on.
You think?
Yeah. Clearly he has something going on, but it
Yeah.
sounds like he has a real disorder in terms of how he works.
Okay.
So J-Lo dumped Diddy in 2003 after the fucking shooting, and then he went back to Kim fully, got her pregnant with twins, and didn't propose.
Yeah.
So everyone was just like, what the fuck? Like, why aren't you guys getting married? And he did an interview with Essence Magazine. You're going to hate this. The quote was, I know she deserves to get married. It's not a reflection on how much I love Kim. It's that I'm just learning how to be a good boyfriend. When I'm finished with this step, I'll move on to the next.
Shut the fuck up
I
with
know.
that shit.
I know.
If I were the reporter taking that quote, I would be like, do you want to take that again?
Yeah. Should we?
Do you want to roll back the tape and I'll play back what you just said to me, you fucking idiot.
But meanwhile, this is 2003, so everyone was like, that's a good man.
Yeah,
Good man right there. That's a good boy.
Literally. The woman in the situation
What an
sucks, right? Fuck the woman.
This is Kim's fault somehow.
Somehow it's her fault. What an asshole. Okay.
So you'll love this part. 5 months before the twins were born, he also had another baby that she was unaware with Sarah Chapman. Sarah Chapman is this lady right here. She's hot.
Mm-hmm.
She apparently used to date Tupac and was a longtime associate of Diddy's. And so he has another kid with this lady.
With some random lady.
Some random fucking lady. Not in their scene, but not Kim.
Yeah.
Not even J-Lo.
No.
And Kim was like, are you fucking kidding with me?
That's
so after
crazy.
she found out about that, she decided to break it up with him and left while he was out of town. She even packed up the nursery furniture when she left.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so scary that she had to wait for him to be out of town so she could leave without
I know.
getting her fucking ass beat, I'm sure.
Probably. They somehow stayed friends. She said that they talked every day, and it was interesting. They did a lot of media stuff together still. They had kids together.
Yeah.
But
So
then
sad.
Kim is planning to write a book about her life, and she died.
Interesting timing.
November 5th, 2018. She was 47. The first coroner's report was deemed a homicide and said that toxins were found in her body.
Homicide.
But a second one came out 2 months later. They redid it, and they said that she died of lumbar pneumonia.
What?
Right.
Interesting.
Her ex-husband, Kim's ex-husband, Albie Shore, went on Instagram to post a tribute because he was still this is my fucking ex-wife who died. And he posted this lovely little thing and said in the text, this was kind of interesting. He goes, she sent me this saying, life imitating art, art imitates life. Now it all makes sense. #star. She told me other stuff too. She was running a marathon. And then underneath in one of the comments, he said, I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some bullshit. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's basically implying
someone did this to her.
Someone killed her. We don't know who. We do know she was about to write a tell-all book about the beginning, and now all of a sudden she is dead. Yikes. Apparently they tried to reopen the case at one point with the coroner, and then that coroner died.
Oh.
So a lot of people, and like I also
it feels like the Clintons when you're like, how is there this
Why
many
is
fucking people dead?
everyone fucking dying. And I will say, obviously, I am not saying that Diddy killed these people, but I am saying the internet is saying
Right.
Diddy may have been involved. I am
Maybe we are saying that, but it's not our original. It didn't come out of nowhere. It's not our original.
I'm not even
take.
saying the websites, all of this is the chatter, and what I'm trying to say to you is the chatter. Why are all these things happening right now? And this is why, because this has been like the rumors around him for quite some time now, because this is a while ago.
Yeah.
This is like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Even more interesting, so apparently 3 of the 5 people from the original Uptown Records team were writing tell-all books and then died.
Mm.
And after Kim's death, her house was broken into and her laptop was stolen.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Allegedly, I don't know. Do what he'll. It is what it is.
Shit.
Shortly after this, Albie Shore went to the hospital. He was in a 2-month coma related to who the fuck knows. Apparently his son Quincy was being raised by Diddy. I think he was having like issues in his own life.
Okay.
And afterwards
weird.
he gets out and tells everyone that he's writing his own life story and implies that Diddy was involved in the reason that he was in a coma.
What?
At an award show, he goes, "The public will finally get to know how I ended up in this coma." Let's actually hear it from Al.
This is crazy.
Get out of here, fucking boxer ad.
The Albie Shore life story.
He's producing his life story. Yay.
So hold on to your britches. You'll really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really gonna need to call Homeland Security.
Oh my God.
So if you couldn't really understand that, he goes, "You're gonna need to hold on to your britches, understand why I got into a coma," and then he goes, "You're really gonna need to call Homeland Security." Mm-hmm. This is a direct nod. This was like recently a direct nod to Homeland Security raiding Diddy's home.
Yeah.
So he's basically implying right there that there's a reason. Yeah.
Oh
so
my God.
He's probably gonna be dead any second now.
Oh my God, that's so freaky.
Yeah. And
Jesus.
a lot of people don't believe that Kim actually died of pneumonia. Kimora Lee Jones was one of her best friends and has been repeatedly trying to get them to reopen the case around this, which is like part of the reason the coroner came around and stuff like that again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a little bit of the background. That's Kim. A lot of people think he killed Kim. First lawsuit that we're going to talk about is with Cassie. And this is really it gets really graphic, you guys. I am very sorry.
Okay.
And if it's gonna bother you, like and subscribe, leave us a little comment, and comment next episode. Next episode, we'll make sure to do something that is no graping. Okay. Look how we're just mixing the words.
I know the grape is fun.
Grape. So now let's talk about his relationship with Cassie. So this is after he allegedly may have been involved in the death of Kim Porter. Allegedly. This is in 2005. This lawsuit just came out because she was able to do the Adult Survivors Act thing, which allows you to do it retroactively. But this is all stuff that occurred. Actually, it occurred for a long time, but started in 2005. So she met Diddy when she was 19 and he was 36. I know, first and foremost, that's too many years between.
Yeah.
It's legal. It is legal, but I don't like it.
It's frowned upon.
It is, I'm going to say officially, a little gross. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But she's stunning, of course. She was a model for a while. Originally, she apparently started modeling at 14. And then at 16, she was a model for Delia's.
Oh, that's cute.
You remember Delia's?
I do.
The cutest this is where my I don't know, really not Christian, but prudish cousin always shopped was at Delia's.
Yeah. With weird flowers on the pants and stuff like that.
But I just remember their catalogs were always so cute.
They were cute, and I would be going over to Wet Seal.
Oh yeah,
being a slut.
Just does Victoria's Secret make clothing?
Yeah.
Can I get that from there? For the whores. So anyway, she was a Delia's model, 17 magazine, things like that. So very, very classic for 2005. signs with Bad Boy Records it's obviously Diddy's record label. So he has a ton of control over her now. And they released her first album, Cassie. And I believe that's the one where, remember the song, It's Me and You?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Waiting.
Think I'm gonna make a move.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Okay.
You should listen to it. It sounds better than what we just did. Okay, so either way, coming up in the industry, especially back then, there's no social media and anything like that. You are extremely dependent on your record label to make you a star. From her civil suit, apparently Mr. Combs abused that relationship. He knew out the gate that she had a boyfriend. And even though he was at that point still publicly in a relationship with Kim Porter, Mr. Combs nevertheless pursued Cassie. At an after party in a hotel suite following her 21st birthday party, he pulled her to a bathroom and kissed her forcibly.
Yikes.
She did not consent to this and immediately ran out and cried. And she told her best friend at the time what has happened, but was too scared to tell anyone else. The next day, she went to the VMAs and brought her boyfriend with her. Mm-hmm. Of course, she's like she's 21. She has her boyfriend. She wants to celebrate with him. And Diddy was very upset, telling her that she was the only one invited and she was not allowed to bring her significant other to it. So he's trying to separate her from her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Trying to get with her.
Crazy person.
Yeah. And I mean, now in retrospect, that all dynamics of that are insane.
Yeah.
I mean, still, even then, that was creepy. But now even more so, I'm like, oh my God. Like her, not just boss, but boss.
Yeah.
Trying to actively separate her from her romantic partner in order to pursue her. And then assaulted her. Forcibly kissing you is assault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a sexual assault. On one particular night around September 2007, he insisted on taking her out for like dinner or whatever. She was like, fuck, I have to go. It's my boss.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Thought it was going to have repercussions with her album deal if she said no.
Oh my God.
So he picked her up from her apartment in a blue luxury vehicle. And when she got in the car, he was already fucked up. He handed her a pill and told her to take it. She asked what it was.
Oh, no.
He dismissed her and told her she would like it. She later learned it was ecstasy.
Oh, boy. Okay.
She had never had ecstasy, did not want to have ecstasy, and it was the first time she had ever gotten high. He then proceeded to drive them extremely high speeds down the West Side Highway of Manhattan.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Not a great place to speed. I'll tell you that.
No.
Not a great place. Anywhere in Manhattan. Terrible. She was very scared, but did not dare to object because he was drunk, high, and agitated. So they then took her to a lounge in downtown Manhattan where he fought a security guard who was saying that, where he was saying that you can't come in because you're too drunk. Cassie decides to go home, and he continues to send her messages throughout the rest of the night that he had been left like high and alone. He was really mad at her. So she's
okay.
Like, fuck.
What year is this? Do we remember?
This is in...
Because he was still with Kim or no?
2007.
2007, okay.
So at this point, no, I think Kim is passed at this point. Nope. Kim is still alive.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
Kim dies in 2018.
Got it.
That's
so she's like very much alive then.
Very much alive.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Mixed that up.
Anyway.
Okay. So he is her financial lifeline. Like, she has not really any money beyond him. She has some savings, but he paid for everything for her. Paid for things with wads of cash. He would repeatedly tell her, don't worry about money. I have money. He expensed lavish vacations for the two of them, purchased a car for her, paid for her apartment, provided her with like designer clothing and stuff like that. So he basically was really trying to make sure that she was fully dependent on him in every way possible. Very controlling of her life. When at one point she told him that she referred to her grandfather as Pop Pop, he insisted that that be his new nickname, which is like...
That's really creepy. That's not going to work.
It's weird. Over the next decade, multiple times each year, he would violently beat her, leaving bruises on her body. After every instance in which he had beat her, he would use his money and power to orchestrate extensive efforts to hide the evidence of his abuse, included by hiding her in hotels for days to let her bruises heal.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's very
again,
R. Kelly-esque.
Oh yeah.
A
lot of people have made that comparison for sure.
Did you ever see the Surviving R. Kelly?
No.
Oh boy, dude, that is fucking dark. Yeah. I mean, he is truly the devil. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so is Diddy, but
It's
truly, truly the devil.
I have not seen it, and I'm gonna need a little break from this stuff after this, but I will watch it eventually.
Oh man.
So, and I will once again note this is all from her civil suit against him. None of this went to a court of law. This is what she said happened and was publicly put out. And spoiler alert, they actually settled this out of court one day after she released this. So he probably paid her some undisclosed amount of money to make it go away.
Yeesh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so then another thing that she says happens is in January 2009, after Diddy learned that she was speaking to another music manager just at a party in LA, he got so mad that she might potentially leave or something like that. He pulled her out of the club where the party was taking place, and in the car leaving the clubs, he beat her, pushing her into the corner of the vehicle and stomping on her face.
Oh my God, in front of people?
In front of his security guard, Roger Bonds, who tried to stop it but was unable to.
No.
When the car arrived at the residence, she tried to run away. He followed her, kicking her. She was bleeding and stuff like that.
What
and she apparently began to throw up because of the assault. He had really fucked her up. So after that, he made her go to the hotel suite at the London Hotel in Los Angeles, and she was required to stay there until she healed, locked up in a room.
What? Oh my God, this poor woman.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So she's just
sad.
getting beat up, and she gets pulled into this and relationship with him.
Abused to the thousandth degree.
She has no. It's just unfortunately it's domestic violence, but with a lot of money and power.
Yeah.
And an added employment relationship. It's a real bad case of domestic violence.
It's not good.
And not great. And it gets even fucking weirder.
2 thumbs way down.
Way down.
I don't like it.
And at this point, they're in a relationship together. It's weird looking at this and being why didn't she leave? But I understand that it's more complicated than that.
Much
more complicated than that. But every time I was reading this, I was just bitch, go!
Yeah.
Get out!
I mean,
and I understand that's
right.
Can't happen, but
it's also
so
obviously she was trying to be a singer too, right?
Yeah, it's her whole career. She knew that. And honestly, she was probably right. If she did leave, it probably was over.
Yeah. And
unfortunately,
I still think that that's the right path. However, I can obviously empathize with how insanely difficult this whole thing would be. And I've never thankfully been in a situation like that. It's
it makes me so grateful for my stupid little fights with Matt or whatever. I'm oh my God, we got mad that he didn't clean.
I know. It's really
okay.
It's scary.
It's
really
wild
brutal.
stuff. Well, you're really not gonna like this next part because this is gonna make this it's a lot worse. Once again, trigger warning. I don't know how else to say this. All right, we're gonna talk about the freak off parties. So apparently, while they lived in New York City, Sean Diddy told Cassie that he wanted to start engaging in a fetish of his called voyeurism, and he said that it would turn him on if he saw her with another dick. So the first time to engage in this, he hired a sex worker and brought the guy home they were in LA at this point. They all both wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs, and he directed her to perform sexual acts on this man while he watched them.
Okay.
He masturbated while he directed Cassie and the man to do specific sexual things, and the entire encounter lasted multiple days.
Multiple days?
And he began to call these, this was the first one, began to call these arrangements freak-offs or FOs. And he would randomly tell her that they were going to go do a freak-off, and she was expected to facilitate the location and hire the sex workers in order to do this.
See, it's one thing, if that's, your thing and you do that as a couple, obviously, go for it. I don't give a shit. But, it sounds like it was non-consensual on her part. So that's the rub.
That's the rub.
That's
yeah,
the
exactly.
part we disagree with. Damn, that's fucking horrible.
Well, it gets worse. So he would insist at certain points in their relationship on weekly freak-offs, which is
no, that's
Jesus, dude.
Too much time.
And would repeatedly tell her that this was their thing and their secret. Don't tell anyone. In addition to directing and, sexually pleasuring himself, he would film her having sex with the hired sex workers, and he treated them as art projects. So he
he's got really good at it.
Yeah, he should have just gone into directing porn.
Yeah, right.
I feel Diddy,
why not,
dude? Maybe you could have been chiller. Apparently, he would adjust the lighting and stuff like that, and make it a kind of a mood. And she was obviously you can't make porn of me. Please don't do that. And try to get him.
It gets out, and then now you have Epstein-style blackmail against me.
Yeah. Exactly. So she was trying to get him to delete it, and she would always like grab his devices and delete as much as she could. But he basically was like, I have a bunch of these left. And then he now has, like you said, blackmail on her.
Sick.
Yeah. It gets, okay, I might take this part out because it's like a lot, but I'm just going to go through it here and then we'll see. She was instructed to use websites and escort services to find male sex workers to participate in these. So she was always like going, like looking for like large black penises on the website.
Right.
They would fly them to different locations and cities and help. She was like required to like make all the arrangements, including by arranging for the hotel suites to have baby oil and Astroglide. He would also drug them for it. So they would do copious amounts of drugs during them: ecstasy, cocaine, GHB. I don't even know what that is. Ketamine,
GHB
marijuana.
is like, I think that's a date rape drug.
Great.
Yeah.
And alcohol in excessive amounts, which would allow her to disassociate during these. And then afterwards, he would give her IVs and stuff like that to try to like resuscitate her.
What?
Yep. Required her to wear white nail polish so it would contrast with the dicks.
Okay, so he
It was a whole thing. Yeah, he really was directing
like
it.
real directing. Oh my god. Oh
yeah.
But was he also taking these drugs, or was he just like sitting completely sober?
I think he was on a lot of drugs as well.
I mean,
Like,
it's like so weird.
Okay, so freak off parties, etc. We'll get more into other people who might have gotten involved in those. In August 2015, he was very violent. So apparently she had a surprise birthday dinner for Cassie for her 29th birthday. And he wanted her to go and do a freak off. She was like, I'm having a birthday party with my friends and don't want to do that. And so what he did is forced her to come with him. They went back to the hotel room, and one of her friends, like a couple of her friends, were still hanging out. He was super intoxicated and picked one of her friends up like a child and dangled her over the 17th floor hotel suite's balcony. What if fucking Matt comes and just dangles you off? I'm like, put my friend down. What?
Oh, how did nobody see this?
I don't know. I think they did.
Oh,
I think people
did.
did see this, and like, but people like thought he was just too powerful.
Yeah.
People get like it is really weird what people will let happen around them without intervening. Like, really sad.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was heavily sedated and unable to respond to his terrifying behavior. Okay. So then in 2011, they briefly break up. Actually, I'm sorry. Some of this stuff is like timeline-wise.
Yeah,
not exactly.
Sure.
You can follow.
Thank fucking God.
So in 2011, they had briefly, during a rough patch. What are you talking about, a rough patch?
Yeah, right. The whole damn thing.
Yeah. They broke up, and she briefly was in a relationship with Kid Cudi. That he was not aware of. He apparently had come back from a trip, demanded a freak off of Cassie, even though they were not really together. She did it anyway. Fair enough. And while that was happening, he found her phone and found emails between her and Kid Cudi. First of all, I love Kid Cudi.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great. Kid Cudi, like,
he's just like a feel-good guy.
I really hope nothing is like amiss with him. That would be sad.
God only knows.
We need some good people. So when he returned from a trip, he demanded this freak off, found this information, got really pissed, and proceeded to place a manual corkscrew between his fingers and lunged at her. She ran away to stay at Kid Cudi's home to escape Sean's wrath, Diddy's wrath.
Oh my God.
And afterwards, one of Diddy's staff members told her that he needed to just talk to Diddy, even though he was enraged. So she felt like she couldn't get away from this guy, so she went back to him.
God.
He hit her several times, then kicked her in the back. She tried to run in the door.
Oh, wow.
So then in February 2012, during Paris Fashion Week, Diddy told Cassie that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car for all this because he wanted to make sure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. And then Kid Cudi's car exploded.
What?
So I think he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
I'm going to go ahead and say probably yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know. Then she talked to another music manager at an after party, and she got super fucking beat up. I can kind of, yeah. It was pretty bad. Diddy assaulted her friend. We talked about that.
Right.
Apparently, at one point, like there's a lot. It's a really long case, so there's a lot of different things. I didn't go into all the details. At one point, she had been assaulted at a hotel, and they had security footage, and the hotel was like, the fuck? And he paid them $50,000.
And they just didn't send it to the cops? What fucking hotel is this?
I don't remember.
I got a lot of words for them.
I know. They were like, but $50,000 though. Hold on.
fuck you.
I know. And then he's raped her and stuff, and eventually she ends the relationship, and basically I think it sounds like she decided to kind of leave entertainment. She just was like, it's not fucking worth it.
No, I mean, if that's been your experience in entertainment, I would be like,
why?
Forget it.
Like, who cares? Like, go sell insurance, babe. Like,
Truly.
go be a top tech sales
rep.
Yeah, you'll crush.
Sales, everybody should do it.
Yep. So everyone should do it. So she left the home that he had paid for, returned the car he purchased for her. So like walked away from all the money. He continued to stalk her, and she was under a lot of distress after all of this stuff was going down. But she ended her record deal with Bad Boy Entertainment and began a relationship with Alex Fine in late 2018. Alex Fine is just like a model guy. He seems pretty straightforward, fitness influencer kind of deal, kind of, it seems. In June 2019, they announced that they were expecting their first child together. They got engaged and married, and she had a daughter and then a second daughter in March 2021. So it sounds like she kind of was able to escape, got her life like lightly together from all of that. And that's when she decided to start working on this this lawsuit. So she was able to heal some.
Probably with the help of her husband, too. It was like,
wild.
We're not letting this man get away with this.
I know.
So sad.
I know.
Damn.
I know.
That's
so now,
crazy.
So,
and it's like, I mean, I can also appreciate, like, imagine how hard that would be to come out with this publicly for safety reasons, for all that, but also, like, I'm sure she has a lot
embarrassing.
Yeah, she's got a lot of shame, and it's not, I'm sure, and it's not her fault at all, and she shouldn't from the outside looking in, but like if I was in that position and people knew all this, crazy stuff I did with sex workers, and I would be like, I don't want people knowing that.
No,
so
of course.
Like,
of course.
It's a really brave thing for her to do.
Very,
for a lot
very
of
brave. It settled right away. Yeah. And they basically were like, we're not going to admit guilt. Like that was Diddy's legal team, but we wanted this to be handled privately. And she kind of said the same thing. She was like, I would much rather handle this privately.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her at all. No. So that case is shut. Like that one's to the side, but it was one of the big ones that came out. Since then, there's been like 5 additional cases that have come out against him. Notably is this one with Lil Rod. There's a couple others. I guess I'll just briefly say a couple other people said that he assaulted them. There's
physically or sexually?
Sexually. Okay. Other lawsuits. There was one that a college student said that they sexually assaulted her in 1991. She was the victim of revenge porn. Another one that he raped her when she was 17. He apparently denied that. Like he's denied all of this stuff. So a number of different, and I'm not trying to like minimize each one of those cases. There's just a lot to go through here. There's a lot of lawsuits that are going on, and basically his legal team has just been saying these are money grabs over and over and over. I'm like, well, that's a lot of fucking money grabs to people. Like, I don't know, dude. So, but the one that's probably a little bit more notable that I think is where the Homeland Security stuff gets involved is Lil Rod. Now, Lil Rod was like a musician. He was got involved with Diddy, 2022. Worked with him for about 14 months on an album that had a bunch of A-list guest stars that would, working on like a big return for him. Over the year plus he spent helping make it, the artist and producer developed an unconventional relationship. He was living and traveling with Diddy and also became his videographer on the day-to-day. So he was filming constantly.
Okay.
Diddy required him to record him constantly. He would, take a cell phone and record himself. So he has hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings from this time.
Oh, wow.
And he includes like screenshots in the case. And I would imagine that if they go to court, like the videos will be utilized as well.
Yeah.
Feels like that's pretty good evidence to include with court. What he claims happened was he said that this was like a fucking terrible situation. A lot of it was like he said he got underpaid, but he also includes a lot of illegal activity that was recorded that also matches up a little bit with what Cassie was saying. I'll say this beforehand, in order to fund this, he set up a GoFundMe. So he had set up the GoFundMe, which says, help me sue Sean Diddy Combs. Raised about $6,000. Oh,
wow.
10 more bucks 20 hours ago. But how random.
That's so random.
Yeah. was able to hire a lawyer and get this all pulled together, and it's been massive news since then.
Damn.
And in it, we'll go into a little bit more detail, but high level, it says that he recorded his sexual acts and listed several celebrities who he claimed party with or had relationships with the mogul. None of this has been verified. And that there was a lot of like illegal drug use. He was assaulted a number of times, things like that. So what did he allege? Sexual harassment assault. He said that Diddy would routinely grab his like anus and genitals as friendly horseplay. And his chief of staff, Diddy's chief of staff, said that was just Diddy's way of showing that he likes you.
Okay. Yeah, well, show it a different way. How about that?
Yeah.
Don't finger my fucking asshole.
Yep. Stevie J. In one section of Jones's lawsuit, he alleges that Diddy showed him a video of producer Stevie J engaging in sex acts with another man in an attempt to convince him to sleep with him. So he is saying that Diddy wanted to fuck Jones.
Okay.
Which is gay.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, kind of a big thing, especially like, I don't think Diddy is out or anything like that. And also just being out in that community especially is not as mainstream as it is in the rest of the world. I don't think this is
news
offensive or revelation. Like,
right,
you guys, you fucking adults, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So he was trying to convince him to fuck him, allegedly, and would say that he knew that he looked up to and idolized Stevie J. Stevie J, if you know, he was big time Grammy Award winning, like, kind of back in the 90s, early 2000s, did a bunch of, I think like the I'll Be Missing You was one of the producers on that and stuff like that. Yeah. So he's a big time producer. Like, if you look at his list, he's got a lot of hits. He used his access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration to groom and entice him to engage in homosexuality. He actually showed him a video where he said that this was Stevie J anally penetrating a white guy without a condom to ease his concerns around homosexuality, saying this is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it.
All right.
I bet Stevie J is like, fucking what? Dude, get my name out of this. Why am I involved?
Crazy.
Actually, a porn star came out later on and said that was not Stevie J, it was him. And said in the videos.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But either way, it doesn't really change like the context of this. Like, he was trying to use Stevie J's name to,
groom people.
Groom him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Groom him. And Stevie J just got fucking wrecked through it.
Jesus.
He also told him that Diddy had engaged in sexual intercourse with a couple redacted rappers. So rapper that was redacted, R&B singer was redacted, and Stevie J. One of the R&B singers the rapper had a little footnote, and the footnote says he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
Which is Meek Mill.
It's Meek Mill?
I mean, that's who that is. So it's so weird the way that they structured this lawsuit.
Yeah.
There's pictures, and then there's like these weird like little like Easter eggs throughout it where they're like,
just say the name.
Let's fucking say it's Meek Mill. We know who Philadelphia rapper dated Nicki. Like,
but why does it even have to say that?
I don't know.
It's so weird. Okay.
I don't know. So he's saying he fucked Meek Mill.
Okay. Maybe he did.
I don't know.
I mean,
but honestly, I'll say this. I don't really like this lawsuit. I understand that it sounds like some bad stuff happened to this guy, but it really does feel like he's like publicly outing potentially, or at least implying like a lot of people. Like, it's kind of fucked in its own way.
I think it's kind of fucked. Yeah.
You didn't need to include that detail.
No, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But it gets more eyeballs on it.
Yeah, but still, that's.
I mean, I think it's terrible. Like,
yeah.
So I'm not super into this. Don't like it. And then he has sex with him on February 2nd. He said he woke up after having been drugged, was waking up naked, dizzy, and confused, and he was in bed with 2 sex workers and Diddy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he
Imagine
says
that
he
feeling.
basically got raped by Diddy.
Oh my God, that's horrifying.
He also said that there was a bunch of underage women involved and has like images and stuff like that. He said that he was routinely drugging these women, like women who came to these like listening parties and stuff like that.
Dude, what is going on with the drugging and the raping happening in Hollywood? I mean, holy fuck.
Apparently he had specific bottles of alcohol designated for females, and the other bottles were designated for his staff, artist, and himself.
Oh my God.
Yep. So the girls would come over and then be drinking from these. And there's another lawsuit that kind of actually also says the same thing by someone who was like a crew member on one of the ships.
Yeah.
And she was like, fucking terrible time. Wouldn't recommend.
No, 0 out of 10 would recommend being drugged and raped.
Do not recommend that.
That's so fucking
Has a bunch
crazy.
of screenshots of the underage females and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Also, Cuba Gooding Jr. gets involved. From Snow Dogs. Remember him?
I know him, yeah.
I met him once in Miami.
Yeah.
Yep. He was drunk by himself. So, you know what, Cuba? Figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like things would be going that great
No.
for him. Well, how's he involved?
So he apparently came to one of these parties and he was trying to like fuck this guy, Lil Jones or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like grabbing him and like grabbing his groin and like his ass and stuff like that. And he was extremely uncomfortable and tried to get away. He has a video of it, rejecting his advances, and he wouldn't stop until he was forcibly pushed away.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I don't like this lawsuit because like, I don't know, maybe they were just he was trying to hook up and it just didn't work out. But then you don't know the relationship between the two of them. But it like,
I have heard that Cuba is kind of a dog.
yeah, well, apparently he's trying to fuck this
Yeah.
random guy. And then here's a picture of it.
Oh.
I know.
Well, also remember like a few years ago, I think he got caught like groping someone on camera in a hotel, like in a hotel lobby or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some. He's been in the tabloids quite a bit for
Yep.
his sexual prowess.
Good for him. So anyway, so that's like some of the highlights of the case. In summary, there's a shooting at like a camp that he said was covered up. I'm sorry, there's so much.
Just like
There's like
casual
so
shooting.
much. And apparently a guy had gotten shot. I think it was like G or something like that, had been shot in the stomach and no one was doing anything. And then
What?
Diddy like instructed everyone to say that he had been shot in a drive-by. But he was like shot like in the place.
Oh my
Probably
God.
by Diddy. Mess.
It's a fucking mess.
So in summary, basically he's saying that he was obviously doing illegal drugs and distributing. Like that's not even, doesn't even feel like it should be on the list.
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
But that is illegal.
The like human torture aspect of this
Right.
is really
But
something else.
the drugs alone are worth review. Illegal firearms, drugging people, more drug things like, you know, in terms of distribution, drugging, sexually assaulting a woman, trying to go after the public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. So put that to the side.
Yeah.
More sexual assault of him, underage sex workers. I mean, it's a fucking mess. And he has a lot of video with all this. So Diddy's lawyer is Sean Hawley, who previously represented Lindsay Lohan, Trevor Bauer, the baseball player.
Interesting.
Actor Danny Masterson. Didn't work out there.
Wow.
Rapper Tory
did not
Lanez.
work out there, did it?
No, it didn't. And then was also on O.J. Simpson's legal team.
Oh
so
my
this person's
gosh.
like pretty experienced with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he basically was saying like they're trying to he's a con man looking for an easy and wholly undeserved payday. And we're going to address these claims in court and then take appropriate action against people who are trying to peddle them.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That is so crazy. And
But
okay.
I know. So because of this, basically, this is why we're pretty sure why Homeland Security raided Diddy's home. They say that they have very condemning evidence around this, and I would imagine those videos are involved. We don't know fully, though. So they raided 2 of his homes in California, and then Diddy was not arrested, but they did arrest one of his associates, Brendan Paul, who had drugs on him, which I would imagine that guy's just like, oh, fucking drugs, mate. Like,
yeah, right? Are you serious?
are you fucking serious right now? But yeah, you're not allowed to do that. So, and he was called a drug mule in a number of the documents. And currently they are going through and looking through, I guess they went through the raid, and we're expecting them to eventually potentially have this case go forward, and then potentially another FBI-led case against Diddy. Diddy's just vibing in Miami. Some like fitness influencer posted a video that he was like, saw him in a cafe and he's like, Diddy! And Diddy was like, love. Yeah. So he's just out and about. I wouldn't recommend partying with him if you see him out, if you live in Miami. And
crazy.
apparently my favorite part is 50 Cent fucking hates him.
Yeah.
And has just been posting like having the time of his life on social media.
50
just
Cent
talking
is
shit.
so funny.
He's so funny.
And he's like right about people quite a bit, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's really funny.
So that's the story.
Damn. So we'll see how this plays out. I mean, I hope all of that stuff is not true, because obviously I don't want that
Right.
terrible stuff to have happened. But If it is, I hope he literally goes to jail for the rest of his life. That's where he
I
belongs.
know.
If that's
It's
what's
a
going
lot-
on, that's where he belongs.
It's a lot of allegations for it all to be 100% not true.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Also, didn't he play basically that character and Get Him to the Greek?
I didn't see Get
I
Him
think
to
he
the
did.
Greek. I don't.
I'm pretty sure he did. Like, basically play that exact character minus the violent, like, the beating. But he, like, plays like a crazy drugged up.
Like an erratic,
Did he
angry guy.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Who forces people to do drugs. Yeah.
Wait, really? That's
does.
hilarious.
I mean, he plays himself. So I think it's just like a thing that people kind of know about him.
Yeah, it's like an open secret. Like in Hollywood, everyone knew what Harvey Weinstein was doing.
Right.
Probably everyone knew what Diddy was doing.
Totally.
There's also like, I saw a lot of TikToks recently about people that have like actively distanced themselves from him. And this was like leading up years until now. And so I'm like,
Yeah, there's a lot of interviews out there with people, like his old bodyguard was like talking about, like a lot of the stuff that I said came from those interviews.
Yeah.
So it's from people in his circle. Now, are they making stuff up? We don't know. Like, it's all alleged,
Probably
but
not, though.
probably not.
Probably not, to be honest.
That's my guess. But we'll find out.
We'll
with
find
the court of
out.
law, which never fucks up.
Ever.
Not once.
Good.
Especially when black people are involved.
Oh, God.
What are we doing?
What
Okay.
are we doing? Well, that was fucking crazy.
I need to read some like pure happy stuff for a while. I was like, this
Yeah.
is so dark.
Damn, dude, that is wild and crazy. I hope he goes to jail for the rest of his life if that's true,
Yep.
and I hope that he has R. Kelly as a jail mate.
Buddy.
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
could just have freak offs together.
yeah.
Like
Right.
God wanted.
They should have
Bless
gotten
them.
Harvey Weinstein and Cosby's lawyer because he was.
I know. Those
I
guys
mean, I
have-
don't want to give them legal advice, but that's what I would do if I were them.
Guys, if you want to get off,
Yeah, right.
that guy's good.
Also, I wonder. I'm like, maybe they couldn't get him because the lawyer was like, "You're not going to win this case. There's no way that we can." Like,
I'm
figure
sure.
something out, you
I mean,
know?
it's a tough one.
it's really
It's a challenge.
Damn, dude, like the world is crumbling around us. I hope there's some good celebrities out there, but you know, we'll see.
Please.
You guys, like and subscribe to our podcast, please, on YouTube. That's where we need more subscribers. So go ahead and do that. It's Risque Business News. And also you can view us too.
Yep.
Instead of just listening, if you want to have us play
I know. I'm
next
going
to
to try
your
to
work
put
or whatever.
some cute little images on this so you can see
Yeah.
the people fucking.
Please
Not going to do that.
yeah,
Honestly, I'm not going to do that.
please follow
please
us on
leave us a
Instagram.
review.
Risque
Follow
Business
us.
News. Tell your friends about this podcast and follow me at May_Planert.
Me, Laura Sogar, and come see us live. And we love you very much.
Bye.